For today's Cyber CEO episode,
Cyberbacker is now a crucial part of my business. I will never go back to having just an MCA in my office or even an MCA and an AMCA. And I've gotten peace of mind. It's been smooth sailing ever since. Extremely happy with the service.
welcome to Cyber CEO, wherein we talk about how our cyberbackers helped our cyber CEOs take their businesses to the next level. Cyber CEO is powered by Cyberbacker, the world's leading provider of admin support services from anywhere in the world to anyone in the world. Please visit our website www.cyberbacker.com for more details. Another awesome day here at Cyberbacker. My name is Jello. We're back with another episode of Cyber CEO. And of course, we have a very special guest on the show. Laura, how are you doing today?
I am doing great.
All right, perfect. Now, first off, I'd like to thank you for your time. I know you're very busy, so really appreciate you being on the show. Now, to start things off, to let you know, we have a lot of listeners who are business owners just like yourself. So I need your help. Can you introduce yourself to our audience? Maybe we can start with, what's your role in the business, Laura?
I am the operating principal at Keller Williams Realty in Western Massachusetts.
There we go. How long have you been in the real estate business, Laura?
A long time. I've been in real estate about 35 years, and this is my 20th year with Keller Williams.
Wow. So tons of experience right there in the business world. Now, how about working with someone virtual though, just like what you're doing with your Cyberbacker? Is this your first time to do it?
It is. And I have to say, I was nervous. It took a lot to convince me.
All right. Now, talk to me about that. Being nervous about working with someone virtual. What was the main reason why, if you don't mind me asking?
You know, JP, who is my Cyberbacker, does all of my back room books, and he transmits for me every month. And all the Keller Williams OPs out there now, transmittal can be really hairy. Even after 20 years, we're always sweating out transmittal day. Did everything go through all right? Do our numbers match up? And I've always had an in-house MCA. So this is the first time I've ever hired anyone virtually to handle my bookkeeping.
Oh, okay. So really the first time. Now, how is it going so far then, working with JP, working with Cyberbacker?
I have to say I love it. I set it up a little differently. JP does all of our bank reconciliations. He balances my accounts every week, which was never done in the past. It should be, but it was never quite got around to it. He does our transmittal for us every month, and he double checks what my AMCA does. I do still have an in-house assistant MCA, and she pays all the bills physically, and she writes the checks to the agents and uploads all of the transactions. So they work in tandem, and they work very well together.
All right, that's good to know that everyone's having a great time, of course, working with each other. Now, talk to me more about JP then. Before you got to work with him, you went to our hiring process that we offer here in Cyberbacker. So basically, interviews on Zoom, communicating with our career backers. How did that experience all go for you?
It was a lot. Honestly, I let my AMCA and my team leader do the interviewing because they're the ones that have to work with them every day. So they narrowed it down to, I think, 2 or 3 people. You guys had a great selection for us. Lots of people that you felt would fit the bill. They narrowed it down, and then I listened to, all 3. I interviewed briefly all 3 of them and let them make the final decision because I was fine with any of them.
Right, there we go. Now, more about JP then. Talk to me about tasks. You mentioned a lot of things that he currently does. I mean, some of the things that he does, but what else do you have your Cyberbacker do for you in the business then?
I would have to, honestly, I'd have to ask my MCA. She has him doing little projects all the time.
Oh.
For instance, we just had our taxes done. And so he did a lot of, he helped her with the preparation for that. My 𝗙𝗹𝗻𝐶𝗂 is not a bookkeeper. And so, a lot of it, she relies on JP for a lot of the things.
Okay, so a lot of numbers there. I'm assuming that taxes,
A lot
things
of
like
numbers.
that.
But he's doing great. I mean, I would say the first 30 days was a huge learning curve. He was new to the MCA role. He has a bookkeeping background. He's a very intelligent young man, very pleasant. We enjoy working with him. But he didn't know the KW system. So that was the only scary part. But you guys jumped in with people who did know the system and got him transmitted on time. And it's been smooth sailing ever since. I'm extremely happy with the service.
We're very happy that you're having a great experience with JP. Now, how often do you talk with JP though? On a daily basis? Is it a weekly or a text here and there, Zoom calls?
Well, I personally don't speak to him at all, but I get an email from him every day about communicating what he accomplished that day. I get an email, my TL and my 𝗙𝗻𝐶𝗂 were all CC'd on it. We get a weekly update that he has gone through the soft close, that all the books are, match up, that were reconciled. And then he gives me all the totals every week of how much money is in my escrow, how much is in my operating, how much is in my owner's account, how much is in my tax account. So he goes through all of that and gives me a great report every Friday, which is something I always have to beg for.
Now, talk to me more about that kind of a report. As being a business owner, of course, and you've been in the business for a very long time and a lot of experience. How important are those reports during every week? I mean,
they're crucial. They're crucial. For 14 years, I had an MCA in office. Same person. She was phenomenal, but she was way overworked. We should have had 2 MCAs a long time ago and didn't. She was overwhelmed. And so I couldn't get all of the information that I was asking for. It would always be, I'm going to get to that. I promise you I'll get to that. And then it would be 2 or 3 days later. JP gets us everything we ask for within minutes, most times, an hour at the most. It's so nice to be able to have all of the information when I need it, not, when they get around to it. So.
There we go. So very important to the business because, again, number crunching is a very hard task. But again, it's very important for you to be able to check on those on a weekly basis too, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, it's the only way you can know, what the end of the month is going to look like. So.
Yes, absolutely true. Now, I know everything's going great between your business and JP, of course, working with you and your business. Talk to me more about how do you create a successful partnership with someone who's virtual? Is there a difference between working with someone virtual and someone in-house?
There is. Obviously. You're not going to have the camaraderie with someone who's virtual. You're not going to chit chat and get to know them personally. It is a business conversation.
Yep.
I think my 𝗙𝗻𝐶𝗂 knows him, much more personally than I do because they talk on a regular basis. And so they have the opportunity to get that dialogue going. But whereas if the MCA was in the office, I would pop in and talk to him or her and ask them, how was your weekend? What's going on? I don't chit chat with JP. Strictly gives me the numbers I'm looking for and lets me know that we're on track or we're off track or, that we're going to make a profit or not make a profit. So.
There we go. Now, we've been talking about JP for a while now, so I wanted to know, is he a crucial part of your business now then, ever since he started?
Absolutely. Yeah. Actually, Cyberbacker is now a crucial part of my business. I will never go back to having just an MCA in my office or even an MCA and an 𝗙𝗻𝐶𝗂. I found Cyberbacker by accident. Well, I've known Rich Rector forever, since Coldwell Banker days. 25, 30 years ago, and never really gave Cyberbacker a thought. But I had the same MCA for 14 years, and then she retired. She was an older woman and just couldn't keep up with all the changes. Mm-hmm. So I got a new MCA who on the outside had all of the qualifications, all of the capabilities, great personality. The agents loved him. Come to find out, he was not the most honest person, and he had figured out a way to manipulate the profit share system. Mm-hmm. The first profit share checks for agents that came into the office were going into his account. He left with no notice, obviously. You don't give somebody like that a lot of time to take care of things. So we were stuck. We had nobody. And so we hired a virtual company for the first time. Mm-hmm. Don't want to say who that was because she gave me 3 weeks notice and told me that she could no longer do my books after about 3 months. She just said, I'm sorry, I can no longer do your books. I lost one of my MCAs. And so we're done. In the middle of a month, absolutely no notice. And so it just so happened that Cyberbacker had called me. Mm-hmm. And so I said, fine, I'll talk to you guys. And I was talking to 2 or 3 other companies, but I kind of liked what you guys had to say. So I thought I'd give you a shot. And again, I've known Rich forever. I knew I could trust him. And so, it all worked out. I will never go back to having a full-time MCA in the office. And quite honestly, the mm-hmm. cost to have a full-time AMCA is less than what I was paying the guy that figured out how to manipulate the system. And I've gotten peace of mind, and I never have to worry about, if JP up and quits, you guys are going to put somebody else in place.
Yes, definitely, of course.
Right?
Now, you already have a partner here with Cyberbacker. Obviously, we appreciate you and your business. Again, Laura, thank you very much for being on the show. I hope we can get you back here probably after a few more months. Check back on you and your Cyberbacker. Would that be okay?
That would be great. And by the way, the communication with your company is phenomenal. I get a call almost every single month from 2 different managers in your office asking me if, what I think of JP. Is there anything we need to fix? And it almost is too much.
Yeah, of course, your Cyberbacker is your partner. We're always here to back you up. Again, whenever you need anything, we'll be right here. All right?
Okay, great.
Thank you for listening to our daily dose of CyberCEO. Stay tuned to know more about how Cyberbacker creates a difference in this digital time and age. You can visit our website www.cyberbacker.com and follow our social media pages on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Spotify.